Well, we're heading into the Ushio And Tora episode 19, and last time was actually pretty exciting. And now the pacing and the history of the beast spear is beginning to be explained. As Ushio And Tora enters the cave further deeper, they find a fragment of Hakumen no Mono. It is petrified yet still alive. Again, my guess is Hakumen no Mono is still reacting to the beast spear. In the middle of this shrine, which is holds the Hakumen no Mono's part, and a lot of candles in it too, they are greeted by a yokai not even Tora know of, called Tokisaka. The strange thing is, when I saw its face, I could not exactly determine its gender, seeing though that it has a female voice. That voice is extremely familiar, sounds almost just like Luffy's voice. And the way she talks to herself, I guess she is female. She just doesn't have the face for it. An old hag, so to speak. Either way, she begins to explain the battle 800 years ago. That when the humans and the yokai worked together in hoping of trying to defeat Hakumen no Mono, and that one part that they have been keeping here has been this cult religion, not sect, this organization has been keeping this part here. As Ushio asks why they haven't finished them off, uh, one of them question is of course because they did not have the spear, but there was another reason, which Tokisawa explains that one of the maidens that tried to track down Hakumen no Mono was Mei Jin, the same woman, or at least her reincarnations. So the Tokisawa, the time yokai who is revealed to exist beyond time, travels both Ushio and Tora into the past of China, where Ushio meets a young Jinmei called meets young Jinmei who looks exactly like Mayoko, at least in this one. A hint that they may be distant related. But even though they are in China, she talks Japanese, and vice versa. But the kanji name of Ushio gets a little bit different. And so even though he sits Outski, they say it's Sungyu. Jinmei explains that a lot of yokai are around here, but she cannot see Tora. So, but she takes in Sungyu to her family, a family of known weapon weaponsmith, I mean swordsmaster, who's been trying to develop a weapon in hoping of defeating Hakumen no Mono, seeing that the emperor of this China has actually gone insane. After having found out that Hakumen no Mono is controlling him, he began to kill his women because apparently for some reason Hakumen no Mono seems to have a strange fetish of liking to enter the form of a female. Does that mean that Hakumen no Mono is not a he but a she? Well, the voice doesn't help either. But that's not important right now. Either way, the king has been driven mad with paranoia, so he has been demanding the best swords weaponsmiths around China in hopes of forging divine weapons that gods themselves acknowledge. But it's not so successful. Jinmei's father is a kind weapon master that apparently have been calling yokais, and eventually reveals that their brother Ginru is also heading home. And when he comes there, Ushio realizes that Ginyu is the same one that ranted all about to Ushio when he was trapped inside the spear, but he looks different. As both father and son tries to forge the weapon, they fail, revealing that they cannot do it. It is then that Ginru reveals that in order that he learned even dark arts in order to forge weapons. He learned two of them. One of them was to forge it from a long hair of a certain, uh, I wouldn't say maiden, but it was more like a woman's hair in order to forge a divine sword. Ginro, and so father and son begins working again, and seemingly creates pointy, I want to say a sword edge, which glimmers and do not fall apart, meaning that they may very well have created the beat spear. As they all go to the palace where Jin may have told Ushio that once upon a time they also used to live in that, but not anymore since they were forced out. Uh, Ginru has also revealed to the troop that Hakumen no Mono is in this country, apparently having been here since it crash landed 1 year ago. It is then that when everybody begins to present the weapons that the king uh, finally loses it, and for good reason. He finds out Hakumen no Mono, who reveals himself or itself. And indeed, apparently Hakumen no Mono wanted to destroy this country from the inside out by driving the king mad and its people too. But having been disgusted by the way that Hakumen no Mono feel like they're trying to destroy him or it, then they decide, then it shows itself from a woman's body and absorbs all the other. We finally, for the first time, see Hakumen no Mono, uh, a kitsune, almost a giant daiokai with white fur, who immediately slaughters everybody there, as Ginro's father's sword is worthless against Hakumen no Mono. Ushio saves Ginro and Jinmei. Unfortunately, he trips, so he cannot save their mother. In anger, he charges against Hakumen no Mono, but can only be freezed up when he sees the terrifying eye of Hakumen. But the episode ends there. Just when it was getting good. But here's Ushio showing once again his kind side a little bit. I don't like his face paces he do it, but it shows that even though Hakumen know that Ushio is trembling with fear when he sees Hakumen no Mono's cruelty, he is also someone who refuses to leave behind friends, so he could very well be the key to destroy Hakumen. But what awaits them now? Well, Ginro did say he learned dark arts. I have a feeling he knows more than just one. Next week we may very well see the true forge of the beast were. I hope at least. So fine, that's all about this episode. And the time demon was also pretty welcome. I never could guess gender. Give me your thoughts if you have any.